If you've ever wondered what it's like to design your first clothing collection without a fashion background, this video is for you. I'm documenting my entire journey, from blank page to final pieces, the entire journey of creating my first ever fashion collection. I've never even designed any clothing before. I don't have a fashion degree, I'm not a trained designer, but I do have big dreams of owning my very own fashion brand, and I'm taking you along behind the scenes to see everything that I do right and everything that I do wrong so that you can learn from my mistakes. Chapter 1. The vision, where it all starts. I started with a mood board because when you don't know where to start with what makes your heart beat faster. I spent weeks collecting images, silhouettes, textures, vibes. And not just from fashion alone. I pulled inspiration from everything. Films, poetry, even old family photos. I didn't want this collection to just look good, I wanted it to feel like something. There are many brands out there that already exist in this world, so I wanted to make sure mine would convey the story that I'm hoping to tell. One of beauty, wonder, and art. You know that feeling when you spot your perfect bag just hidden away at the back of the store? Or when you've realized that you found the wedding dress? That feeling of, oh my god, there's just nothing else like this? That's the kind of art I want to create with my brand. I kept asking myself, what do I want people to feel when they wear this? Confidence, main character energy, that mix between quiet luxury and rebellious charm. To be honest, I've been at this for 3 months now, and I still haven't entirely cracked the code. But I'm not afraid to admit that. Why? It is because of this quote by Oscar Wilde. If you want to be a grocer, or a general, or a politician, or a judge, you will invariably become it. That is your punishment. If you never know what you want to be, if you like what I call the artistic life, if each day you are unsure of who you are and what you know, you will never become anything, and that is your reward. Now I know all the marketing girlies are probably ripping their hair out of their heads right about now. And yes, don't get me wrong, a brand tone and image and all that good stuff is super important. You wouldn't want to confuse your customer by portraying or putting out content that does not feel authentic to your brand. But what I am saying is that it is not worth staying up till 3 AM every day worrying what your perfect brand identity is, especially when you're just starting out. Yes, I am starting a fashion brand, but more than just a business, this is an extension of me. The art I enjoy, the beauty I see, and the life that I want to create. It flows, breathes, and pulses with every step I take. Human, real, tangible. Not some giant conglomerate that only cares about taking your wallet in exchange for some half-done pieces. And to be human is to evolve. Ever-changing, ever-moving, ever-improving, and ever-learning. Perfection doesn't exist. So what I strive for is just daily improvements in both myself and my brand. I have an idea and an aim of what I want my brand to look like. And some days I do let all the stress of having it be perfect get to me, but I just remind myself, building something great is a long journey, but it's one that I'm willing to take. When you don't know any of the answers yet, just focus on how you want your brand to make people feel. Design with your emotion, not just aesthetics. Chapter 2. The sketching phase. Messy beginnings. This part was humbling. Sometimes I'll scribble an idea in bed and I'll just totally forget what it means the next day. Other times I convince myself that I will remember this idea only to fall asleep and to have no inkling of what I was even up to. But the point is, you start somewhere. I would already consider my learning curve quite tame. See, I have a digital art background, so I'm quite comfortable with a pen and paper, sketching, drawing, even on my iPad. And not going to lie, it felt good to be able to draw again. I hate to admit it, but after starting working full-time, my creative energy has just embarrassingly depleted. Life just kind of looks the same now. I wake up, travel an hour, sit in the office, go back home, and repeat. Don't get me wrong, I love a routine, but my current one does not even allow for even an inch of creativity, which are where my roots have grown and where they have made a home after all these years. And it feels so good to finally have the creative freedom and space to be able to do what I love, which is literally creating something from anything, from nothing. with just my hands and an idea in my head. I sketched countless pieces, hated many, redrew even more, and somehow landed on my first design that I felt was right. My personal rule: every piece had to say something, whether it was about girlhood or the version of myself that I'm trying to become. Helping someone be more confident, being someone's dream dress, something one of a kind and flattering, everything done with purpose. I'm still not an expert yet, but I hope to get there one day. Don't wait until you feel ready. Just start. Bad sketches lead to better ones, and every iteration brings you closer to clarity. Chapter 3: Designing with Identity. Building your brand through clothes. As I was designing, I wasn't just trying to make clothes. I wanted to shape a community, and that means asking, what does my brand stand for? I didn't want a brand that just followed trends. I wanted it to reflect values. Timelessness, quality, elegance, with a little edge and a lot of heart. And that meant thinking beyond the garment. I started making notes on the tone of voice, logo ideas, and even packaging concepts, all while trying to stay true to the original vision. And even after all these months, this is still a work in progress. And I'm not afraid to admit that I don't have it all figured out. I made a promise to you, the viewer, from the very start of this entire series, that I would show up fully with all my mistakes and flaws to show and document what building a brand really looks like. And yeah, sometimes, more often than not, it looks like I have no idea what I'm doing. So here's some guidance if you're in the same boat as me. What does your brand believe in? What does it reject? Who is it for and not for? How should it make people feel? Chapter 4: From Sketch to Specs. Making things real. Once I had a design I was excited about, it was time to make them real. This part is a blend of creativity and logic. Now, to be very honest, for this very first design, I didn't even know I had to make a tag pack. I just did a sketch of how I envisioned my dress to look, with measurements, and depending on your manufacturer and the type of garments you're looking to make, this could be more than enough. For the first manufacturer that I was working with, this was the case. And I say first because, spoiler alert, I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with her, but that's a topic for another day. Anyway, this first dress that I envisioned, I wanted it to have this beautiful hand-beaded embroidery that wraps around the waist and under the chest and follows all around the neck. Now, most people would usually just pick a fabric that already has this embroidery that they like and use that. But not me. I wanted my embroidery to be 100% custom to this design. I wanted this dress to be like the sun, bright, golden, and one of a kind. That's part of the reason why I even chose to go with beaded hand embroidery. So I went to work for weeks, hand sketching and drawing how exactly I wanted this embroidery to look like. I didn't even really know if it was even possible to make something like this, but I guess there's only one way to find out. I made sure to include all the details that I wanted. No fancy softwares, just very clear breakdowns. Neckline, hem, fabric feeling, measurements, just every specification that I could think of. Chapter 5: Navigating self-doubt, because it will come up. I'm not gonna lie, this stage made me spiral a bit. What if it's all cringe? What if no one buys it? What if I'm not good enough? But every time I wanted to quit, I reminded myself, it's not supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be true. And I can't improve something that doesn't exist yet. You're allowed to build while doubting yourself. Confidence doesn't come before the work. It shows up because you keep going. So here's where I'm at right now. I have one sample currently in the making, but as you might have probably picked up, I'm not sure how that's going because I've kind of not been getting the best updates for the past few months, and I've documented a little bit of that over on my TikTok. So if you'd like to see such of these real-time updates, then I'll leave the link in the description below if you're interested. Honestly, I am worried because samples are not cheap, and it does feel a bit defeating knowing that I've waited all these months and could possibly have nothing to show for it. But I refuse to give up here, so I've recently made the decision to restart my manufacturer hunting process in hopes of finding the right business partner this time round, just finding someone that I can trust and who can take on this journey with me. And the entire process and steps of breaking down or finding the perfect manufacturer is just too much to get into this video, because if I include it in this video, this is gonna be like an hour long. So if you guys like, just leave a comment down below letting me know you're interested, and I'll do an entire video for it for you guys. This entire process has taught me more than just design. It taught me practice, it taught me patience, it taught me what it means to believe in your taste even though others might not yet see the vision. It taught me that your dream doesn't need permission, it just needs momentum. And if you're watching this and you're like, well, I want to start this too, but I'm too afraid or I don't know how, just know you don't need credentials. You need commitment. Your vision matters, even if it's messy. Especially if it's messy. I can't wait to share more of what I've learned through this entire process with you, and I'm scared but also really excited to see how this entire journey goes. So stick around if you like to learn from my mistakes, or if you like to see how everything just goes, I guess. Until next time, take care of your heart, your mind, and your dreams. I'll see you in the next video very soon.